About 100 kidnapped victims in Zamfara State regained freedom. Aid says Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Igboho remains in detention. UK demands answers on Nigeria's arrest of Nnamdi Kanu. On the foreign scene, South Africa counts cost of violence as 40,000 businesses hit. I am Enoh Ubevire. President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday gave members of the NYSC in Katsina State 2 cows, 20 bags of rice and 1 million naira to mark the Eid al-Kabir celebration. The president also commended former head of state General Yakubu Gowon for the NYSC initiative, which he said had created more opportunities for uniting the country. He spoke when core members visited him at his country home in Daura for Eid al-Kabir homage. Conflicting reports emerged about the whereabouts of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, who was arrested by the Benin Republic authorities on Monday night. Some reports said he has been released and allowed to fly to Germany. However, Vanguard reports that Mr. Igboho's aide, Dapo Salami, denied the report, describing it as false and misleading. Meanwhile, the UK has asked Nigeria to explain where and how Nigerian separatist leader who holds British citizenship was arrested. Nnamdi Kanu was on the run outside Nigeria for 4 years until he was brought to court in Abuja last month to face several charges including treason. His lawyer says he was detained and mistreated in Kenya before being extradited. A junior minister in Britain's Foreign Office, Tariq Ahmed, said the UK government was seeking clarification from the Nigerian government about the circumstances of Mr. Kanu's arrest and detention. No fewer than 100 victims who were kidnapped in Namawa village, Maru local government area of Zamfara State, have regained their freedom after spending 42 days in captivity. The State Commissioner of Police, Hussaini Rabiu, who confirmed the release, said the victims were released without paying any ransom. Recall that on 8th June 2021, terrorists attacked Manawa village and abducted 100 villagers, including nursing mothers and children. The whereabouts of 8 persons, including a woman who were abducted by gunmen on the Kula Abonima waterway on Monday, is still unknown. 5 out of the 8 kidnapped persons are members of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, River State Chapter. The chairman of the union, Jonah Jumbo, has appealed to the kidnappers to release them unconditionally.
The Kola unit and the Abonima unit were asked to come for meetings in the state office here in Port Harcourt this morning. On their way coming from Nekola, we got a complaint that the officers who are coming for meeting were kidnapped. All our 5 members were kidnapped, including another 3 passengers. Up till now, nobody hear anything from the kidnappers. So we are still appealing to the general public, the government, to really help us and see how they can reach to those kidnappers.
The provost of the College of Medicine at the University of Port Harcourt, Iopu Simini Alaye, says following the recent wave of a 3rd wave of COVID-19, taking the vaccine remains the best way to avoid contracting the virus. Professor Iopu spoke to Ifeami Andrew.
The easiest and, surest way of preventing COVID-19 spread is a widespread use of face masks, because the next best thing, the best thing actually is to be vaccinated. Unfortunately, the vaccines are not available in our countries. Even when they were here, there's vaccine hesitancy amongst people for all kinds of reasons. Wash hands as frequently as possible on running water for at least 20 seconds, or to use hand sanitizers. Right. And then when it is possible to practice physical distancing, make sure that you're 2 meters away from anybody who is not from your immediate family.
While calling on the government to begin to enforce compliance with COVID-19 prevention protocols in public places, Mr. Simini Alaye called for more investment in vaccines and sensitization of the people.
What government can do is to mandate mask wearing and make it compulsory where you have public gatherings and public events and all that, and to make sure that places are not crowded beyond the capacities that can allow the social distancing regulations. That's one. Then vaccine rollout. Government is not paying for the vaccine. The vaccines that were administered a few weeks ago were all part of the COVAX program. So if government can invest in them, buying the vaccine, that would be great. Government should reassure the public that the vaccines are actually safe and that the most effective means of containing this pandemic.
Private schools in Rivers State are being asked to reactivate and enforce all COVID-19 health protocols. Chairperson of the National Association of Proprietors of Private School in the state, Roberta Dosumu, spoke to correspondent Martha Okere.
We are going with the NCDC COVID-19 protocol. We are re-emphasizing it because somehow there are some laxity here and there since the wave went down. So we are re-emphasizing and asking people to reactivate, and they now strictly abide and carry out COVID-19 protocol by NC, and encouraging our teachers, our proprietors to go for the inoculation.
Recall that a few days ago, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 placed Rivers, Lagos and other states on red alert following the third wave of the pandemic. You're listening to the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Still ahead, former Deputy Governor of CBN, Kingsley Moghalu, expresses concern over the borrowing by the federal government. Stay tuned.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Thank you for staying tuned. A former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, has expressed concern about the future of Nigeria over the borrowing policies of the present administration. The former presidential candidate voiced the concern on Tuesday when he appeared on 95.1 Nigeria Info, Abuja.
If you're borrowing for a railway, you must have done an economic calculation that over a number of years, that money will be returned by the fees that people are paying. That's not what's happening in Nigeria today. So we just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing for things that are not sustainable. A lot of these projects can be done by public-private partnership. Major roads, major railways, private sector investors, if they have confidence in the Nigerian economy, can come in and undertake those projects and take the profits for say 20 years or 35 years. And when they've made a certain level of profit from their investment, they hand over the project back to the government.
Professor Moghalu says the continuous borrowing is mortgaging Nigeria's future. And traders across major markets in the FCT say there was low patronage from customers before the Eid al-Kabir holiday. Our correspondent Jennifer Okereke spoke to traders across markets in Abuja.
I mean, looking at it, you can see that the market is empty. I would say the market is empty because this is not what you expect. We have been celebrating Salah this way, we are finding it so difficult now to see people enter inside the market and buy something. We are even contemplating whether we will divert or something like that. I don't know whether food stop is not going for Salah. The turnout here is very, very poor.
Most of the things that cause food stuff, number one, this flooding investment issue, so people do not farm the way they're supposed to farm. Another thing is government increase taxes in most of the companies, so they increase their prices, and the dollar issue. Most of the things we sell here, about 50% is imported, 50% is Nigerian products.
And some consumers appeal to the federal government to urgently address the looming food crisis in Nigeria.
Yeah, they sell all leaf. No market. Everything sees. Mood of life, they cost too much. Most as every day they dry. Now our government to help us. Nothing for Nigeria. Customer no come, na sleep at the sleep. Na sleep at the sleep. Even though the crease, if you increase person to buy a map for happy. They're nothing. No money for Nigeria. To know Nigeria, no government to help us. It will be women a bed. Anyone where you have too much. Where they do them small. No everybody go shop.
Not only are you everything. See the more they buy how much. See now how much they sell them. 5. One sachet of semo 600. One sachet 600. It's too much. Let them do make everything come down. Like our own. Both rice, so federal government now. Make everything come down. Rice, everything.
Recall that the federal government declared Tuesday and Wednesday public holidays to mark the Eid al-Kabir.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
The South African authorities are still assessing the economic cost of the looting and violence that broke out after the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma. The estimated cost of the economy in KwaZulu-Natal province alone has been put at well over $1 billion. A minister in the president's office said the unrest and looting had affected 40,000 businesses there. Quoting data provided by South Africa's Property Owners Association, Kumbuzo Nsaveni said more than 200 shopping centers had been looted. She said over $1 million worth of stock was lost in Durban alone. About 1,400 cash points machines had been targeted in looting that saw 90 pharmacies destroyed. This does not include the damage in Johannesburg that's still being assessed. But that could get worse, as the minister said 150,000 jobs had been put at risk by the unrest.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this morning, you heard that President Muhammad Buhari gifted Katsina corps members 2 cows, 20 bags of rice and 1 million naira. About 100 victims kidnapped in Zamfara State have regained their freedom after spending 42 days in captivity. An aide to Yoruba Nation activist Sunday Igboho says he remains in detention. The UK is demanding answers on the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu by Nigeria. On the foreign scene, South Africa is counting the cost of violence as 40,000 businesses were hit. Contact our newsroom on 0818 900017. Cloudy weather expected in Port Harcourt this morning. I am Enoh. Thank you for listening. Good morning.